Don't forget to check out and grab your copy of our 2 newly released books, Football: A Love Story and What Did Football Teach Me? These books feature over 100 stories from current and former coaches, players, executives, and entertainers from across the football landscape, describing what got them involved in the game, what they love about it, and what life lessons the game taught them. You can find your copy or order your copy from our website at footballgameplan.com/books. Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2015 Gildan, New Mexico Bowl preview between the Arizona Wildcats and the New Mexico Lobos. And we're going to start this video off by taking a look at my keys to victory. Starting with Arizona in this ball game, I would monitor the effectiveness and the health of both quarterback Anu Solomon and linebacker Scooby Wright. Both guys are tremendous players. They're game changers and game breakers, but they're coming off extended time missed due to injury. And if they're not being effective in this ball game, don't hesitate to take them out and roll with the guys you've been with throughout the course of the season. And also, you can't allow the Lobos to control the clock. That's what they want to do with that option attack, and it's about assignment football and getting those guys off the field. And in conjunction with that, it's going to be important for that defensive line of Arizona to get off blocks. If they can't get off blocks, this Lobos option attack will have their way with this Wildcats defense. And for the Lobos in this ball game, it's about owning the red zone on both sides of the ball. I think they do a solid job defensively and keeping guys out of the end zone. Offensively, they're going to have to put points up on the board. They're going to have to put sixes on the board in order to knock off Arizona. And the secondary will have to pass the test. Arizona will come to spread the field, and they'll attack vertically down the field. I know Gene will get into a little bit of that in the matchup section of this video, but this secondary of New Mexico has to bring their A game. They're giving up over 240 yards passing a game. That can't happen in this matchup. And when they throw the football, they have to make sure the passing game counts. They have to be efficient passing the football. That eases things up for their option attack. And if they're able to do that, they'll have a lot of success offensively.
Now, Arizona has already won because they were able to keep Rich Rodriguez. But a matchup that you're going to want to watch in this one, Arizona's junior wide receiver Caleb Jones versus New Mexico's senior defensive back Cranston Jones. Now, the reason this matchup is intriguing is because Cranston Jones is their best, most athletic defensive back, but he only stands at 5'8", 172 pounds. Caleb Jones comes in at 6'3", 215. If you were thinking in boxing terms, that would be like a cruiserweight going up against a middleweight. So he's given up a height and weight advantage to Caleb Jones, and it doesn't matter who the quarterback is for Arizona, whether it's Anu Solomon or one of the other two people who've played behind there. Arizona's going to look to exploit that height difference. It'll be interesting to see who wins. I think Arizona will win, and that's why Arizona will ultimately win the game.
For New Mexico, you have a three-headed rushing attack, and actually both teams have that. So we're going to look at the running game as the X factors for both of these teams. Arizona is going to be going without Scooby Wright, who they've lost all season. He is an NFL prospect. But when you look at what New Mexico brings to the table, you have Jarrell Presley. He's their second all-time running back as far as rushing touchdowns with 35. He's got 846 yards on the year, 11 touchdowns. He's their primary runner. But then you have another guy, more of a scat guy with Terrion Gibson. He's got 766 yards and 6 touchdowns. And then just to add insult to injury, the quarterback Lamar Jordan has 672 yards, also with 6 touchdowns. So for New Mexico, it's going to be all about running the football. They have a powerful rushing attack, a three-prong rushing attack, and they're going to look to run the football against Arizona. Their running backs are coached by actually my college quarterback, Apollo Wright. So definitely look forward to seeing what they could bring to the table. New Mexico running backs, those are my X factor. As far as Arizona is concerned, they have a three-headed attack also. We're going to start off with the quarterback in Gerard Randall, who has 702 yards rushing on the season, 5 touchdowns. And you look at their two running backs in Jared Baker, 691 yards with 6 TDs, and also Nick Wilson, 725 yards. So it's going to be really the X factor for them is going to be running the football also. Their two running backs along with the quarterback. It's the same X factor kind of deal on both teams. So I like New Mexico to beat Arizona in this game. I think in the end, the rushing attack that they have is going to be too much. And on top of that, they are playing in New Mexico, the New Mexico Bowl, so that home crowd will definitely be an advantage for them also.
You know, a lot of people talk about these bowls and they state that some teams might not want to be here, some teams want to be here. Well, a team that definitely wants to be here is New Mexico, as they've played their tails off this season. Now, some guys to watch out for: Jarrell Priestley from New Mexico, running back. He's got the talent, so look out for him. From Arizona, there's quite a bit of talent as far as draft-eligible players. Look at David Richards, the wide receiver out of Arizona, at 6'3", 215. Look at the defensive side of the ball: Will Parks, strong safety, and Reggie Gilbert, defensive end / rush end type guy. So Arizona definitely puts some NFL draft talent on that field against New Mexico. In this particular one, I'm going to say that Arizona shows up, improves on the season, and they end up winning this game.
Chris McAllister is definitely a campus legend. Played there from 1996 to 1998. After transferring from a junior college, he became a 3-time first-team All-Pac-10 performer and All-American, and finished 3rd all-time in interceptions with 18. And he's the 7th player in college football history, first at Arizona, to return a kickoff, a punt, and an interception for a touchdown in the same season. Stoney Case was a tremendous athlete for New Mexico from 1991 to 1994. He was a 4-year starter and the first player in FBS history to have 9,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing. He was a WAC Player of the Year and finished his career with the Lobos with 98 total touchdowns. In the 2007 New Mexico Bowl, the New Mexico Lobos faced the Nevada Wolfpack, and the Lobos blanked the Wolfpack 23-0 behind an outstanding defensive performance. And 5 years later, the Arizona Wildcats beat the Nevada Wolfpack 49-48 in a thriller. And this is the first meeting between these two squads in the New Mexico Bowl, which will add yet another chapter in the storied Kit Carson rifle rivalry. I like New Mexico in this ball game. I think the Lobos' option attack will cause a ton of problems for Arizona. Yes, they've had multiple weeks to prepare for this option attack, but you can't fake live, and I think the Lobos will do a great job in neutralizing the speed and athleticism of that Wildcats defense and come away victorious. And as we recap our picks, we're split down the middle on this ball game. I think this will be an outstanding bowl game between two hated rivals.